Hi, everybody, and welcome to my brief recording in progress. So welcome everybody to my seminar or webinar or presentation or whatever you want to call it on get the most out of this summer. So the reason why I have decided to put this presentation up and why I want to share it is because I'm hearing a lot of mixed messages from my clients or friends or people I talk to about how they feel about the summer holidays. Now, everyone is kind of looking forward to them, to being away from the routine, but I mean, hang on, the last year was so out of routine anyway, and everything was upside down. There's still a bit of a thread about, you know, is indoor dining allowed? What is that summer going to look like? Are we going to be outdoors all the time? And so a lot of things are still very uncertain. So people have very mixed feelings about this summer. And also when it comes to their health. So some of my clients who've been really successful in maybe changing habits, creating new habits, losing weight, are worried that the summer month will ruin everything and all the effort they put in, that they fall back into old habits. Other people already dread September because they know that by the end of the summer, they always feel wrecked and that they always struggle to get into a routine when the kids are back in school. So all of that I'd like to cover today in this brief presentation. I want to get you to find a bit more clarity about what holidays really mean so that you don't spend them just aimlessly going into the summer holidays. But also I'd like to share some tips on how to get the most out of it, have loads of energy, enjoy it. And then come September, still feel really, really good, feel great and about yourself. So anyway, let's get started. I hope you're going to enjoy this. So where am I here? Start sharing screen. So beginning. Yeah, okay, very welcome to my Get Ready for Summer class. So as I mentioned, the intention, okay, something's missing here. The intention for this course is to discover how you want to spend your summer, get clear on goals and intention, but without stressing about them, feel full of energy and vitality to do the things you actually love doing during the summer. Unless that is just sleeping, of course, which is absolutely fine if that's what you want to do. But also feel confident and healthy in your body and to avoid the big dread of back to routine in September. So a little bit about myself, for those of you who don't know me, I got into nutrition, or the reason why I studied nutritional therapy was because I've experienced it for myself, how powerful good nutrition can be. From someone who was in my early 40s, I was constantly tired, exhausted, I was constantly hungry. My moods were all over the place. I wasn't great fun to be around with to begin with. Changing my nutrition has literally changed my life. And I want to share with you, with my clients, that it doesn't mean healthy eating, healthy lifestyle doesn't mean you have to spend hours on in a gym or hours on or eating only green lettuce and depriving yourself constantly. It's about making small changes. The most important thing is to get started and then making small changes over time. And over time, your habits will change, your food, your taste buds will change. I can honestly say that I have really discovered how delicious food can really be. I'm not big into cooking at all, but I love, 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 love my food. For me, a holiday is not having to cook, and I would have no problem going out every single night for 3 weeks in a row with, you know, not having to cook. So yeah, I love my food. I actually would say that eating healthy food has really enriched my life, actually more so than what I used to eat before. Anyway, that's enough about myself. So let's get started with the presentation. Yeah, so, you know, why do I want to have a strategy plan for the summer? So the reason is that I hear that all the time. Things like, I want to spend my summer without worrying to eat. I want to do just what I like, but I'm worried at the same time to kind of have to start all over again. What will I eat when I'm staying in a hotel? I'm really worried I'll just gain weight again. Now, neither is wrong or right. Now, if you accept it, if you say, I've always gained a few pounds over the summer, the same way as I do at Christmas, and I've no problem losing it again in September, that's just what I want to do. That's absolutely fine. But again, it's not just about weight, it's also about energy and mood, and how you feel, how much energy you have can be very much influenced by what you actually eat. So the other thing, maybe you say, yeah, I just want to stay the way I am. I just want to make sure I'm not gaining weight. And again, I want to have the energy. So whatever it is, or you can set the plan to use the holiday, to use this summer to actually kickstart new habits. So whatever you decide, it's whatever is important to you. Now, in order to find out what is important to you and what you want to get out of your summer, maybe we do a little bit of exercise. I think this is pretty much, again, summarizing what it's all about. That, you know, some people inevitably think summer needs to be weight gain. Summer are stressful. Summer's mean barbecues, meeting with friends. And yeah, so what the talk is about, again, is, but come September, you don't want to be kind of feeling, oh my God, what have I done with my summer? I feel actually worse than at the beginning. So the point of the exercises that I'm going to like you to do now are to find out what is really important to you. And I don't know where you are listening to this now, if you're listening while driving or while doing something else, but if you can, grab a piece of paper or your journal and a pen, and do take the few minutes time to actually write the answers down to the questions. The reason why I say that, and this is not just me, this is, again, it's scientifically proven, when we write down things, the physical act, not just necessarily typing on the computer, but the physical act of writing it down makes it real for your brain. It makes you more focused, more inclined to actually think about it and take the suggestions on board. So if you want to get the most out of my talk today about what I have to say, and you really want to get the most out of this summer, take the time to write down the answers to these questions. So the very first one is, ask yourself the thing, or complete this sentence, the things I most love about summer are. Don't overthink it. It doesn't have to be anything with food or weight or with what you do. It could be simply the long days, short nights, the sunshine. Just a few things that come to your mind straight away. Complete the next sentence. Summer for me is incomplete without. What is it that you say, absolutely, this is something I have to do every summer? That's something what summer is for me. Is it having ice cream every day? Is it going for a swim every day? Is it not having to worry about cooking and planning and waking up in the morning and having no plan? Now, let's move a little bit into the future. It's September and you look back on the summer. You look back on the summer you just had. How do you want to feel? Not what you would have done, not what all the things you've ticked off, but how do you want to feel about this summer? Do you want to feel energized, vitalized, enriched, relaxed? Do you want to, yeah, what does it feel like? You know, what, not just kind of, yeah, just maybe even thinking back of the best summer you've ever had. How did you feel afterwards? How did that feel like? Okay, I mean, you can, so if you're listening back, you can always press pause if you're not finished. And then let's continue to the next one, which is equally important. How do you not want to feel? You don't want to feel overwhelmed, stressed out, run down because you've done too much. You don't want to regret that you slept all day. So I'm not saying that that's what you feel, because everyone feels different. You know, some people feel that was the best ever holiday because I just slept all day on the beach or on the pool or wherever. So whatever it means to you, you know, how do you not want to feel? Okay, let's move on. Again, my best ever summer. When I go on holiday, the most important things for me are what is the most important thing? Not just things you like to do, but what is the most important thing? I mean, for me, it is, you know, having time for long chats with my husband, yeah, eating out without having to cook. But again, it's different for everybody and there is no right or wrong. What is absolutely important for you when you're on holidays? Now, the reason why we're doing this exercise is to get really, really clear on where a healthy lifestyle can actually fit into your summer. So by knowing what is really important, how you want to feel after this summer, how you want to spend the summer, what is important for you to have during this summer, by knowing it, by being aware, by having the clarity of what it is, what summer means to you, you can actually make a plan around that and fit in your health goals as well. But if you don't know what it actually means or how you want to feel after that, if you don't know what's important for you to spend during the summer months, it's very hard to find ways around of how you can fit in healthier lifestyle, how you can feel energized after the holidays, how you can avoid that slump and that dreaded back to routine kind of sensation. So that's why it's important to actually kind of know and be more clear about what is actually important to you during the summer, what you don't want to do, but also how you want to feel afterward. So are there maybe things you've been doing for years and years and years, all summer? You do it without actually thinking about it, and you do it out of habit, but it's not really that important to you. I think a lot of people have realized that over the last year, that some of the things we've been doing for years and years and we thought we couldn't do without, that it's actually possible to go without them, to do without them, that it actually feels great maybe. So maybe, I don't know, maybe you've always had every single night when you're on holiday, you had your gym tonic. You actually don't really need to have it. But it could be also something that you've always visited Auntie Mary in whatever, and you've just been doing it for years and years, and actually you didn't like it. You never were happy down there. It was always stressful. So, you know, maybe just have a think about it. Or maybe there's things that you just can't really be bothered. You're just doing it. You're having ice cream every morning. Well, it doesn't really matter whether you have it or not. And again, similar to kind of how you want to feel after the holiday, how do you know that you've had a great summer or a great holiday? How do you know? So find something that you can actually measure. So, I mean, it doesn't have to be the weight, but obviously if you say you want to maintain your weight, it's very easy. You measure yourself now and then at the end of the summer, and you have a very clear measure. You could measure your waistline or something else, but it's, you know, if that's what you want to do. But there's other ways you could measure. For example, I have a health and energy review, a questionnaire. You could complete that at the beginning of the summer and at the end, you know, so without looking, and just to see out of interest, have you got more energy or less energy? Has your concentration improved or decreased? Have your stress levels improved, gone higher or lower? So that could be another way to actually measure. But, you know, whatever it is, you know, yes, I've had a great summer holiday. You can measure it on your tan or whatever, because you know you've had lots of sunshine. You know, the clothes you were wearing, you know, how do you measure? But just kind of think a little bit of how you measure to know, because quite often we do things and then at the end of the day we feel, gosh, what have we actually done? But if you had, like, for example, checklist, a to-do list, and you've ticked it all off, you know all the stuff you've done during the day. So, yep, that is, you know, that's, for example, something you can do, you know, a list of the things you want to get done over the summer. And if you've ticked them off, then you know you've had a good summer. Anyway, just some exercises. Now we'll take a little bit of action. So don't just survive and get through the summer somehow. So, yeah, why not have a goal over the summer to move you forward on your health journey? So it doesn't have to be something very strict or something very big, but, you know, your body doesn't know it's summer or winter. Well, it does kind of, but your body, just because it's summer doesn't mean that your body can tolerate more alcohol or more sugar. It still functions exactly the same way. Our liver, our organs, everything just works exactly the same way. And yeah, so if you want to stay healthy, what can you do? You know, what can you do that's not massive? Maybe even introduce something new. What about setting yourself a goal of going for a walk with the kids every morning? Number of steps, maybe a sea swim. Maybe you get into sea swimming if you haven't done so before. Maybe you want to start dancing. Just something that moves you forward and is fun. Don't try to go on a diet. Absolutely not, because I know for sure that Well, I'm not saying you can't. Obviously, you know, some people do like to use it as a kickstart because it's more time available, but it has to be realistic. It has to be realistic and achievable for you. But if you are someone who really loves the fact of being able to do whatever I want to do and I don't want to plan, it might be hard to go on a diet. So what happens then quite often is you set yourself the goal of, or maybe an ambitious goal for the summer. It doesn't work out on 2 or 3 days and you give up altogether. And you say, oh, it's just not for me. I can't even do it on my holidays. There's no point of me ever going on a diet or ever start healthy eating. So, you know, there has to be the balance of it being, yeah, exciting without being kind of too strict. And it has to be realistic, of course. So portion sizes, you know, that is probably one of the easiest way to maintain the weight. But again, like anybody who's known me, anybody who's worked with me, fast releasing carbohydrates, like white bread, white pasta, sugary treats, pastries, cakes and all that, it's affecting your blood sugar. And it's going to cause you an energy dip a few hours later, and it causes you more cravings in the long run. It affects your mood, it affects your energy level. So if you want to spend a great time during your holiday, the blood sugar is still one of the things I would suggest to really, really watch out for. Make a conscious choice. Like I would, you know, kind of, yeah, when I do have a sweet treat or a chocolate or whatever, or ice cream, I'm aware of sometimes it does cause me stomach cramps. I'm aware that this could happen. I'm also aware if I eat something very sweet that I'll be hungry again an hour later or be craving some sweet thing. So if I'm aware of that, or if I'm aware of my energy slump, it's a completely different ballgame than just kind of mindlessly eating it and then feeling rotten, giving out. You know, that's what often happens, giving out to myself. Whoa, why did I eat that now? I should have known better. You know, so that's, yeah, the opposite from making a healthy and informed and conscious choice. Plan where possible. You know, so it doesn't have to be everything down the T, but you can have a strategy of, for example, tackling the breakfast buffet. It is a known and studied fact that if you sit very far away from the buffet, you're eating less. If you're taking out a small plate to fill up the food, you will eat less. Don't load up everything. Make it into courses, make it into a 7-course breakfast, make you go up and down if need be. Or choose a filling meal like an omelette that you know that keeps you full for a long time, keeps the energy up. For example, if you're planning a long hike or being outdoors all day, and it keeps you full, and it is less likely that you're going to go for the sweeter things afterwards. If you're having lunch, salads, you know, in the summer, absolutely brilliant to get all your nutrients in, and add a bit of protein to keep you fuller for longer. But use the summer months, you know, when salads are just so nice and so delicious and light, and again, keep the energy up so that you can do loads of things in the afternoon. And for dinner, make it satisfying, you know, make it really a good dinner, and real food, and maybe nice spices and things with it. So going out for a restaurant, you know, choose it wisely. You know, it doesn't have to be the cheapest version. Make a booking. Nowadays you have to book in advance. So that's where I got caught out recently. I didn't make a booking, and the only option was a really, crappy restaurant that was left. But The other thing, really important, don't go over hungry. So a lot of people thinking, oh, we'll go out for dinner, I won't eat anything all day. You come to the restaurant, you're starving, your blood sugar is low, and you just order everything that's on the menu. Sometimes I even suggest having a little snack before going to a restaurant so that you're not overly hungry. I also suggest usually to go for a starter and a main course, and if possible, leave out the dessert. Or else, go for a satisfying main course, having the steak, if you eat meat, rather than going for something light and then still being hungry and then overdoing it with the dessert. And if you're having dessert, you know what? Don't try to be healthy. If you're eating, let's say, an apple crumble, because you think it's, oh yeah, that's fruit, that's healthier, and you feel maybe not really your choice, or a lemon cake, something that I don't know, never really got into. The sugar content is most likely the same as the death by chocolate. So, if you're going for dessert, just go for what you really like, because what it does, it gives your brain, it gives your body that sensation of feeling satisfied. Whereas if you are in this deprivation mode, in this kind of, oh, I'm on a diet, I'm all the sensation, if you're in this mode, you will feel deprived, maybe the next day or overall your holiday. So if you really want to go for dessert, go for it. I know it's probably not what you expect me to say, but it is, it's all about giving our body a sense of safety and security. If we are in the dieting mode, and that doesn't just apply for summer, if we're in this calorie counting mode or whatever, it's your body is constantly feeling, maybe the famine is coming again or whatever. So yeah, relax around food. Alcohol is another tricky one. As I said, I love my glass of wine with a meal, but I do choose to have some alcohol-free days. And just to give my body a rest. Now, I'm going to share an ebook with lots of delicious non-alcoholic drinks, cocktail suggestions that are, are really, really delicious and not too sweet, and you can drink loads of them and still have feeling like you're having a drink. The most important question when it comes to alcohol is to ask, how do you want to feel the following day? It's never just the alcohol. It's also that after a while, you just become more relaxed. And then in the evening, you might eat something suddenly in the middle of the night, something you'd never eat normally. And you wake up the next morning feeling rotten. You just want to eat and sleep all day. And you wasted a day. So, just be mindful around alcohol. And it's, the usual tips apply, go for the less sugary drinks, have always a glass of water in between your drinks, look out what kind of mixes you're going to use. And again, just be mindful about it. Ice cream is another one. Oh, big one. I love my ice cream. Absolutely love it. But I know it doesn't always love me because of the dairy that's in it. But there's lovely sorbets that are dairy-free ice creams, so that can be a good alternative. My favorite is banana ice cream, and I just have always frozen banana in the freezer, and I just use it in the NutriBullet with a kind of cocoa powder and a little bit of almond milk and peanut butter, and it's delicious. It kind of takes that craving for ice cream away, and really what it is just the frozen banana, so lots of nutrients. Now, the ideal time to have your ice cream or anything sugary is actually during the day when you are most active and when you might be burning it off. Also, it's good, let's say you've had a good breakfast, or a good lunch with lots of protein in. The sugar and the protein are kind of like setting each other off. So keeping your blood sugar balanced if you have it straight after your lunch. So yeah, so that's ice cream. Enjoy your ice cream during the summer. Don't forget self-care, you know, looking after your emotional well-being by doing fun things is something that makes you overall feel happier, and it's easier to deal with life in general. And yeah, you focus more on yourself. Sometimes we think self-care is selfish, and you're on holidays, you want to spend time with the kids and everything, and yeah, you feel nearly guilty for going to the spa, but it is so important to really, really look after yourself. Maybe there's something you can start during this holiday, some self-care habit that you can start. Maybe a yoga routine, maybe the sea swimming. I'm a big fan, anyone who knows me is I'm a big fan of journaling. Maybe now that you have some time out from a hectic schedule, take out a journal and explore what you really want to be, what you want your life to look like, what you want your health to look like. What does it mean to you to be fully healthy? And where are you at the moment? How happy are you with your health at the moment? So journaling and coaching, exploring these things is like a big important part of my program. So I don't just as a nutritional therapist, hand out diet plans or nutrition plans. I do that as well because we're all individuals, and I look at, you know, the client's personal health history and what nutrients the person needs and where the person is at, you know, so where my clients are at, I meet them where they are. Some people already have a very good diet, others need more changes, but we make little changes that are doable, basically, and that people can sustain. But looking at your mindset about the things, the stories you've been telling yourself in the past, things, exploring things that worked in the past, exploring things that didn't work in the past. So journaling is a huge part of my programs. And that is something, you know, I think maybe a lot of people, when I said get summer ready, might have thought, oh gosh, here's another beach body nutrition advice coming down the line. But you actually just don't want to go out the beach. You want to stay in your hotel room, and you just think, oh, if I only lost the weight, I'd be more confident. Now, the one thing I always say is don't wait to love your body until you've lost that stone. It's actually the other way around. If you love your body, you will make sure to nourish your body well. So I know it's maybe a different way of looking at it, and maybe you want to have a little bit of think about it and journal about it. The other thing I notice is that a lot of people feel self-conscious and uncomfortable in their bodies, not because there's anything wrong or they're overweight, but simply because they feel uncomfortable and bloated and 6-7 months pregnant, and just feel, oh my God, everyone's looking, whereas nobody really looks. And it's just more the feeling inside of feeling, again, there's a couple of things you can do really, really quickly. Sometimes just a day or two of good detoxing, nourishing your body, like with a really, really good, I have this vegetable broth, kind of for 2 days, you're kind of giving your body a break. Drinking more water in some cases can be just helping you feel better. Ginger, lemon, hot water in the morning. You know, sometimes it's it's how we feel rather than what our body actually looks like. So I have seen it over and over again in my clients that only after 2 weeks or so of introducing more vegetables, reducing or avoiding the rubbish, that they feel so much better. And with that feeling of feeling better, the confidence rises, and with that, that leads then to automatically wanting to look after your body. So, you know, it's a catch-22, but again, it comes down to just start with something. That's really, really important. And if you do need support, you know, if you need the support from a nutritional therapist like me, or a health coach, or sometimes it can be just some really good supplements that can help you, you know, stop the cravings. If it's the cravings that are letting you down, maybe a good protein powder, you know, so that you can just have a smoothie instead of a full breakfast. So there is, so that can just be a support to get started and just feel better. But it is something that I would recommend if you are conscious, you know, just maybe a day or two can already kind of completely change the way you feel in your body. Yeah, so we're at the end. All I can wish you now is have a great holiday. Do your best, do whatever you can. Start somewhere. Don't overthink it. Don't make it too like, oh, I have to do everything. Find out what is really important to you. What is important to you during your holidays? And remind yourself, how do you want to feel tomorrow? How do you want to feel in a month or in September, by the end of the summer? How do you want to feel in a year? Do you want to be the same as you are now in a year, or worse or better? Whatever it is, you know, it's always a good start. It's always a good time to start that health journey. There's never a perfect time. The perfect time is now. If you want to find out more of how I work, of what you can do, you know, if anything has come up during that talk, that might be where you say, yeah, that really resonates. I'd like to find out more. I'd like to know where I am. I'd like to know what I can do straight away. Book in a chat with me. Again, I'll share that link. If you want to treat yourself to a really, really nice weekend away, 3 days in the Wicklow Mountains, Powerscourt Springs Health Farm, where you're being pampered, but also a little bit challenged on finding, you know, kind of finding your why, finding the first step, getting clarity. It's a retreat planned on the 15th of October for 3 days. I'll share that link as well. And if you want to start in a group, so your bookings are open, and both are limited. So only limited spaces are available. So if you want to secure your place for the September 4-week transformation group program, you can book that now as well. So that's it from me. Again, have a great summer, have a great holiday, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Stop sharing the screen now. So thanks very much for listening.